This guy at work was like, dude, I just watched Catching Fire. Best like cliffhanger since Empire Strikes Back. And I was like, okay, all right, whoa, reel it in, buddy.
Take it easy, okay?
Let's preface this conversation by me saying I love dystopian films, movies so much, and I've been obsessed with wanting to do this genre that I did watch all 5 Hunger Game movies. Idiots, like how could you allow yourself to get to that? Obviously, this is fiction, and now living it, I'm like, oh no.
Just every day you're like, why? People, this is why you read. This is why you talk to other people.
Why are we burning books?
You know, that idea of I just am going to do something. And that then resonates so deeply with people across the country that they're like, I too want you to know that I am with you.
Love so much about this movie, but there's so much that I genuinely deeply hate. Welcome back to another episode of Real Chums, where chatting about movies feels like hanging out with friends. I'm your host, Marcel, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Danny.
This week, we're kicking off our month of dystopian films with Hunger Games, directed by Gary Ross and written by Billy Ray, Susan Collins, and Gary Ross, based on the novel by Susan Collins. The film stars Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, who I always forget about, Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, Stanley Tucci, and Donald Sutherland.
Look, everyone forgets Liam Hemsworth. Everyone forgets all of the Hemsworths if you're not Chris Hemsworth.
Brutal. It's the truth, though.
It's the truth, though, but
it is what it is.
Look, before we roll the intro, quick reminder, if you're not watching us on YouTube, make sure you head over there and subscribe. It's the best way to support the show. It helps more movie fans find us. We're doing the podcast that you're listening to, movie reviews, what we're watching, movie news, and a bunch of other stuff. So make sure you head over there, like, subscribe, so you never miss out on all the stuff that we are pumping out there.
That's right. So, with that being said, let's roll that intro.
Can I just tell you how excited I am to talk about dystopian films?
Yeah. I noticed because you put some really obscure dystopian films that I had never seen, like heard about, in the poll. And I was like, dang, he's been ruminating on this for like who knows how long.
Well, I think I've said this before. I have my 2 favorite genre films are like Alien First Contact movies, which is a little bit different than like Alien Invasion.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alien Invasion, most of the time you're having first contact, but like Independence Day is an alien invasion over like arrival or contact or
correct
Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right?
Yeah.
Like,
E.T.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I love like First Contact with alien movies, and the
Project
other one,
Hail Mary, soon to come out.
yes, and then the second one is dystopian films. I'm a sucker for dystopian films.
So, are you just like so excited that we live in a dystopian area, right? Slowly, just sliding into a straight dystopian novel from.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I think what always attracted me to this genre is like how it is when a story, a book, or a movie tells you like what led this society to get to this point, right?
Yeah.
And I would always like read this, and I would just be, and I'd always be like, idiots, like how could you allow yourself to get to that? Obviously, this is fiction, and now living it, I'm like, oh no.
Just every day you're like, why? People, this is why you read. This is why you talk to other people.
Why are we burning books? This is how every like dystopian film starts. Do not burn books.
What? Or rejecting books? I just okay. We digress.
We've digressed. But anyway, I'm excited.
Me too. So when it comes, what is the first? My question of the day is, what is the first dystopian book that you read?
Great question.
Is The Giver a dystopian book?
Sure.
I think that might have been my first book.
I think mine might have been 1984.
Yeah, see, I didn't read 1984 until high school, but I read The Giver in middle junior.
Yeah, I read 1984 in middle school. And then I read Fahrenheit 451, and that continues to be like my favorite book of all time.
It's so good. Did you like the adaptation? Well, no, we'll talk about that's a whole nother episode. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Another day.
No, I have not liked any of the adaptations, and I was really upset with the Michael B. Jordan one on HBO.
No, Amazon Prime. But
anyways, with Michael, what's his face?
Fassbender? No.
When I first heard about it, I was like, oh yeah, this
would be good. Yeah.
And then I watched it, I was like, what the heck? And this sounds like a cop out, but like if I ever am able to produce a movie, it would be this.
Be Fahrenheit.
Oh yeah. Like the first time I read it, I was just like, this would, and there's that old 60s adaptation, and it's fine for its time and the changes that they've made. But like, I remember just being like, this would just be a great like film adaptation or a short series, like a limited series, whatever. And I know there's dozens of people that have tried to adapt this out there, and they just can't land it.
Yeah.
But this would be like my passion project. Just like how you have Sorrow.
Yes. This is yours.
This
okay.
Is mine. Fahrenheit 451
We're going to do this in our lives. I'm going to do Zorro and you're going to do Fahrenheit.
Sure. I just have to get a couple million to buy the rights for it, but it's okay.
No, we'll weasel our way into HBO. We'll win it there, and then we'll slowly take over studio.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all. Anyways, no. Good stuff. Did you? I guess the follow up is did you read The Hunger Games?
Yeah, I did.
Did you read it before?
No,
you read it after.
I think I read them after.
See, I got. This is one of those weird eras where like, this is the era where I like started devouring books.
Yeah, no, I think I started reading these when the second movie had already come out. The third movie was about to come out, and I think I read them all at that point. And I remember, quick story. I remember a coworker. I was working at a restaurant at the time. I was in college, and this guy was like,
"The drink one?"
Another one.
No.
And then this guy at work was like, "Dude, I just watched Catching Fire. It's so good. Blah blah blah." He was like, "The best like cliffhanger since Empire Strikes Back." And I was like, okay, all right, whoa, reel it in, buddy.
Whoa, take it easy, okay?
Are you sure? He's like, yeah, man, best cliffhanger since Empire Strikes Back. And I was like, okay, then I'm
gonna go see it right after the shift.
Yeah. Which I mean, Catching Fire is freaking good. The movie. Maybe I'll preface this. Let's preface this conversation by me saying I love dystopian films movies so much, and I've been obsessed with wanting to do this genre. Yeah. That I did watch all 5 Hunger Game movies.
Oh, you did?
And I watched next week's episode that we're gonna be doing Children of Men.
Oh, last night.
Okay. And then I watched again Hunger Games. So I watched it twice, and then I watched all 4 of them, 5 of them.
Nice.
How many are they?
There's 5. Like 5, yeah.
5, yeah.
I haven't watched all of them. I'm gonna watch the rest of them this weekend. I did watch this twice as well.
Yeah. Which is hard because, like, well, yeah, let's jump into it. You were going to say.
No, let's jump into it. So, obviously, this is set in dystopian nation of Panem. The Hunger Games follows Katniss Everdeen, a teenager from the impoverished District 12, who volunteers to take her sister's place in a brutal televised competition where 24 tributes fight to the death. As she navigates alliances, manipulation, and spectacle, Katniss becomes more than a competitor. She becomes a symbol. We need more of these right now.
Oh man, this is gonna be.
Bro, can I just tell you that like, I had to like stop the film in the middle of this and just think, the freaking U.S. government wanted to put the Patriot Games, and I was like, dude, what was happening right now? Are we just gonna turn into freaking the Hunger Games, and like every state who isn't the ones that the favorites have to like get less resources, and you're gonna fight to the death? I remember because this is a blip film.
Oh, okay.
So, but I read the book, and so like, and I knew that it was coming out, and I thought, dude, that's wild. That book is violent. And I'm like, well, how are they going to do this? I'm like, are they going to make it rated R? Are they going to like, what they're going to do? And I remember being in Hartford, Connecticut, doing a workout with the homies at 6:30 in the morning. None of us wanted to really be there, but the television was on, so we'd be like doing little. For those that don't know, when you're a missionary, you can't technically you're not supposed to be watching any sort of like media, but you can't help it when you're in a gym.
Yeah.
And it's all it is news, so it sucks. But I remember doing some deadlifts and there being like the headline, it was like parents enraged of the brutality of the Hunger Games. I'm like, what are you guys, idiots? Like you just didn't like read the book before you like looked at the back cover or something? Guys, this is literally like children fighting for the lives of their lives. Like I don't understand how you guys missed this memo here. Don't be dumb. Okay? And so I'm like, this is actively just brought a whole bunch of memories as I thought about going through this film. Anyways,
these movies though, like especially the first Hunger Games, I love so much about this movie, but there's so much that I genuinely deeply hate.
Dude, I could not agree more. In fact, it's been a minute since I remember rewatching them a little bit ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, these are good. And I think they definitely got better as it went on. But this first one,
I struggle with, there's a couple things that I struggle with. One, like, if there's ever been a movie that's like, the studio has been like, we know it's going to be good, but we don't know it's going to be good.
Yes. This is a perfect example of like
you can tell the studio was like, I mean, this is going to be good, right? But we don't know it's going to be good. So like, cut back on the CGI at times because it looks horrendous. And like sometimes like even like the costume design, sometimes I'm like, look, I know we're in District 12, but
come on,
that looks like you just pulled it out of the trash.
Yeah.
Like what is going on?
Yeah. In fact, even so much so, even in the edit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. There were so many times in the edit that I was like, guys, are you kidding me? I'm like, you guys weren't, you knew this would be good, but you didn't have enough coverage. There were so many times in this film where like it's not continuity. It's I know as an editor that they didn't have a better angle, or they just like, it was like, I mean, I can't remember who the cinematographer is, but or like it was like one of the first films, they had a ton of pressure or whatever, because there was multiple times where I'm like, oh, that was like, the sequence is off on that. There's a moment when Katniss goes back to the cornucopia. She's pulling her bow back, and it cuts to another angle, and she's like has to pull. She's pulling it again. Like,
oh yes.
Like it's things like that like are throughout this entire film. That like, except for what's really interesting is the very start of the film is so well like done editing wise. Of like the tension of like you don't hold on anything too much, but you're getting a whole bunch of information throughout this opening sequence that you're really drawn in. But then it kind of like they just gave up.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I mean the cinematographer, for example, is Tom Stern, and he's done Mystic River. Oh yeah, seen the Mystic River
after this.
No, this Mystic River was before. Flags of Our Fathers.
Oh, the Flags of... Yeah. See,
Letters from Iwo Jima.
Yeah, see...
Beautifully shot.
Those films are amazing. Have you watched those?
Yeah. So maybe they just didn't... You're right. Like, they just didn't have the budget to have enough coverage.
Or like, the time... Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, these were... I mean, let's see. How old was Lawrence?
He did Sully. Yeah, American Sniper.
Yeah, see, I don't... Like... So he's done like these war films, and I can see why they picked him as a cinematographer to shoot this thing. But like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's hard. I'm not saying like what I think. I'm like, I really had a hard time. Like, I don't know where they cut the budget. I don't know what the struggle was, but I could feel more so now, especially after spending. This is our fourth year looking at films, asking questions, looking at it with a more critical eye at times. This one I felt immediately. I was like, oh, they lost their eye on the target here, and then it takes them like 10 minutes to get back recovered. And it's like that, it's constant throughout this moment. They have like these moments that are like fantastic, and then you just kind of like.
Well, I mean, in like 2012. So what? Harry Potter had come to an end at this point.
I think it was waiting on the final. Yeah, I think so.
So like, the movie doesn't get the type of budget that like even the first Harry Potter movie gets, right?
Well, this was kind of I think, people in the comments, please correct us if I'm wrong, but like, so this was a race for book IPs, right? Because you had Twilight.
You had already had Twilight.
Yeah, you had Twilight.
Yeah.
The Catching Fire was huge. Susan gets the contract, and they go like they greenlight they greenlight all books
of the Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games?
No,
they only greenlit like one,
they
right?
only did the one.
Yeah, she didn't have the third book finished.
No, I think they were already done.
I can't remember the full timeline.
Yeah, but no, I think that was the idea. Was let's see how good this is, and if it's great, then because what ends up happening after the success of this one, they go back to Gary Ross, the director, and they say, okay, like we're ready to film, like we want the next one out in 2 years.
Yeah, and he's like, no,
and he says, I can't do that. I need 2 years of pre-production.
Yeah.
To attack like the scale of what we want,
yeah,
and the vision that I wanted. And they said, yeah, no, we'll find someone else.
Yeah.
And that's where what's his face, Francis Lawrence comes in, and he's done all of them since, right? And so like they were cautious. Like, will this be the hit that we think it is, or will it not? And once it was, they put all their chips into it.
Yeah.
And we see, like, I think Jennifer Lawrence got paid, I don't know, like nothing for this one.
Nothing.
And
absolutely.
then she gets like a 800% pay increase for like all the other ones.
Yeah.
Good for her.
No, 100%. I love about these films is that it really does solidify. I think Jennifer's phenomenal. I really enjoy watching
in anything.
Yeah. In fact, the one that I want to watch this weekend, because we're in dystopian, is Don't Look Up.
Oh, okay.
Because that movie's bonkers.
It is.
And so I just want to revisit it because like seeing her here going there. Anyways, just so good. Yeah. Did you watch this in theaters then? Did you watch it? Let me ask that. Did you watch this in theaters?
I'm fairly sure that I did. I can't remember.
So Sadie, this is one of the first films we watched it together, and she's like, "Okay, we'll watch it." And then she's like, but I remembered that this is one of her first films that she watched when she got back from the blip, and she was like, "What is happening? There is so much violence." That's what happens to the blip.
Well, let's talk about actually Gary Ross for a second,
Yeah.
and as well as Tom Stern as cinematographer, because they definitely lean into the whole like limited budget, which this feels almost documentarian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. We have a lot of close-ups, shaky cam, right?
Yeah.
Handheld work.
Yeah.
That's done here, which again, there's so much that I love and that I hate here. And I've been on record saying that I love like a good shaky cam when it's done right. Okay. Here, there are times when it's done right, and there are times where I'm like, this is too much.
And again, I'm like, did they add extra? Like where they were trying to ham it up even more, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the edit room got muddy.
But well, okay, and I'm pivoting this to you, Danny, our resident professional here. Why and when does a director want to leverage like handheld and shaky cam?
Yeah.
What effect does it provide when you're watching a movie?
Great. Okay, so one, I don't want to call it shaky cam.
Sure.
It's the technical term is handheld.
Yeah.
Now, there is shaky cam, but that is due to you're not stabilized, meaning like you are shaking. But handheld has this sense of fluidity.
Yes.
And there are two big factors in my eyes that I see it. One is there's a more intimate control from an operator to what you're getting on screen, right? So you get this level of you as a cinematographer are on. You're holding the camera and you're looking through your viewer or your like eyepiece, whatever you're doing, and you're there and you're locked in and you're operating as it gives you the sense of like, a fly on the wall. It gives a sense, a little bit of sense of intimacy, because there's a level of like, but you have to be very careful with this, because there's this also level of, if you're new to this, you will forget of what your main goal and purpose is. And you will do what we call, what I've always, I adopted this concept, but is fire hosing. And it's what every dad or every parent does. They turn on the camera and they're like watching it, and all of a sudden something else happens, and you're just like squirrel, and you're just moving around everywhere, right? So there's that. But then there's this other level of like of drama, or like again, that intimacy of like, this is a crazy, and you want to be able to like add to that. You look at Extraction, right? Yeah. You have this level of like, you're in it, and you're, they're transferring, and you're running, and you're getting that, like, they're exerting themselves, and you feel it because the camera's also exerting themselves, right?
It's immersive.
Immersive. There you go. Yeah. I'm a big hand holder. I'm a big, I like to run with my camera. But I also took many years of like, I'm just gonna put it on the tripod and I'll take my hands off, because I needed that muscle. And even sometimes now I'll be like, I'm feeling too, like, maybe it's been a little bit, or maybe I'm like, I've got too many things on my mind. I'm like, if I'm going handheld, I have to remind myself, okay, hold for 30 seconds, looking at that timer, just hold it here. I'm not changing anything, because it can get to a point where you're adding too much. You could also have like, you're not properly balanced, or it's not, there's a lot of little struggles. And so that can cause that jitter, or like just too much feel. Or sometimes, some people like, they'll do Steadicam, but then they'll add the like kind of shake in post, because they want a clean plate, and then they want to add it. But then that, as an editor, you have to then be very cognizant of how much are you going to adjust it, and less is more. And if you're not paying attention, you could really mess up some stuff. And that is even, it's even harder, because like, how much does it feel to be natural? And there's that play, right? So all of that to say, to give you your point of context and like perspective for this thing.
And I think like at the beginning of this film, we start off with a lot of handheld.
Yes.
When we're at the house, she wakes up. We follow her out to the woods.
You get these nice little cutaway detail shots of like the area, like the home. Yeah. I'm telling you, that opening sequence is really, really good.
Yes, and I think it works great. And I think, again, because of the limited budget that they had, they didn't give us master shots of like, here's District 12.
Right.
And set the setting. It was just a lot of handheld as we're just like getting glimpses of people walking down District 12 or whatever it is, right? And I think it works great. Even like the reaping scene.
Yes.
We get really close at times at like people's faces. And just, it adds to the discomfort of the situation that we're in. And so I love it for that. I even wrote in my notes, like, I think it's a lot, but I don't know if I love it. I also don't know that I hate it. Like I'm aware of it, and I think it enhances the setting that we're being immersed in. However, I will say, and this is my favorite scene of the whole movie, the moment that that Lenny Kravitz takes Jennifer Lawrence right under the tubes, and then like she comes up, right, and then we have the countdown, and then go. The handheld work in there is phenomenal.
No, see, but you want that because it's a chaotic moment.
And it also, it's a perfect way to leverage getting a PG-13 rating.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Because you're constantly cutting, you're moving, you're not seeing full-on blood. And like you said earlier, like the book is very graphic and violent, right? Yeah. And this is how they get away with that PG-13 rating, because we're not going to show you, because we're using handheld and we're cutting, we're moving, we're having this beautiful ballad of dance with the camera, right? Yeah. And it's and in that scene, it's perfect because there's no sound or there's no score.
No.
There's this high pitch
ringing
the whole time. The sound mix in that is beautiful.
You know,
I love that entire scene, from the sound mix to the handheld work to the edit. It's just it. None of the other movies have been able to capture the chaos of the countdown and like the first couple seconds of the games, like that first
but
scene.
I think that's the point. I think it's like that is the point, right?
Yeah.
It's her. This is her first time. You know, like she doesn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
It's like you're all the anticipation for that. And I agree with you. It is truly such a fantastic. What I think is even more important to recognize that is that it's a POV shot. Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, like, so you are Katniss in that moment. And I love.
We are one of the people in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so powerful. And that's why, like, it bothers me so much that then you go to like 10 minutes later and it's like, we don't really care. Like, we're just like that same, I don't know, that same care in that moment, you know, maybe it's because it's like they want to save it for those little moments of they, you know, leaving it. I don't know, just where I'm like disconnected. I don't feel as because we get a lot of personal shots of Katniss up in the tree, whatever, and they're okay. But I'm like, I feel like there could have been extra, just, you know.
I think this is a problem with the script. I think this is where the script really fails. And again, we're looking at this as a film and not as what happens in the book or whatnot. This is a movie podcast. But like,
yeah,
I think this is where the script really fails the movie.
Yeah.
Is that, and I counted it, it's an hour and 4 minutes before we get to the actual games. And the script that up to that point is really strong because it builds tension. It gives us exposition of this world, the Hunger Games, how it all works, right? But we're getting, not only are we creating world building, we're getting context into our characters, we're creating characterization of them all, okay? And we're building suspense and tension to this moment. Once we're in the Hunger Games, I actually get very bored.
So bored. So bored.
And this is where the script really fails the movie because you could have done so much to really flesh out motivations. We'll talk about Peeta in a second. But like build more moments between Katniss and Rue. That moment when Rue gets her, when she dies, like,
dude, that was the first time I cried in a book ever.
Oh, okay.
I freaking bawled my eyes out when I was reading that in the book. I was like, it was like in the middle of the day on a Saturday, and I'm just reading in my room, and I'm like, Jill, come in,
little Rue,
because it is so heart wrenching.
But here in the movie, it's rushed. We get maybe 2 minutes of them together.
Yes.
When we could have really spent more time with them.
Yes.
And that's the thing, like, I get it from context, having read the books, that Rue reminds Katniss of Primrose, right?
Yes.
And that relationship and like why she becomes so protective of her, because it's like having Prim there, right? And they're the same age. I know that because I read the books, but like as a first time viewer coming in to see this, like you could have really taken time to build this relationship here, and I think that would have been more engaging than just seeing Katniss up on a tree, right?
I cannot. Should we do a real Chums rewrite? Because I'm like, I 100% agree with you that this middle area, after they get to the opening of the cornucopia, end of the Games, and then them rushing off, I mean, it's hard. This is a hard book to adapt, and it's so hard for a studio to, you know, you look at Harry Potter and you see the success, and they want to take a risk on this super popular book that has dystopian taste and like could really, and has this there, and be so cautious about, you know, and it's hard. It's hard to do a book adaptation to a film.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do it, take a time to figure out what you're going to do to help make the story better in this case. We have so much time in the book in, obviously in Katniss's head that we get to see her. In the film, cut to other characters. Build this rising tension of cat and mouse of like what is happening of Peeta's do something else to help build connection to the people that will have bigger impact, that will help us make us feel, because that's what we get at the very beginning of the film, and then it lacks. And even when they get into they change the rules and Peeta and Katniss come together, even then it's like,
yeah, and this is where I come back to why I love and hate this movie so much. I love that the movie takes moments to like cut to "Hey Mitch," right?
Sure.
Or even when he's at the Capitol, and just the moment of him like sitting at the Capitol, and he sees a family, and like the kid opens a present, and he has a sword, and he's like chasing his I love that, right? He's looking at the absurdity of like these kids are being brainwashed at a young age to like be savages, right?
Yeah. That it's okay.
That it's okay to have these violent tendencies or whatever, right? Like, I love that. I love that we cut to Snow and
in the Game Maker,
yes. Right? As they talk about like hope and what is the purpose of the Hunger Games. I love that we have these cuts and get these perspectives and world building. We don't do enough in the games.
100%,
right?
We don't do enough.
And this is where I struggle with Peeta. One, Josh Hutcherson, he's great, highly miscast here, right? Second,
who'd you put?
I don't know. Now let's see, 2012.
I know 2012 is hard. I don't know who I would have play Peeta. I think it's a little.
That's a great question. I'll think of someone.
We don't. I mean, it's just.
But not Josh Hutcherson. And like what I struggle here is the script fails him here because we don't understand.
Yes.
His motivations.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Why does he like? He decides to like back away from the team from District 12.
Right.
But then yet he like, but I love her and whatever. And then in the games he decides to make alliances.
Yes.
But it's almost like the movie was like trying to be like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Yeah. But like show us that.
Yeah.
And it frustrates me more than anything because it's like, what are we doing with Peeta? And then for him to just like, for us to then be thrusted into where he's at once they make the changes, right? Like, it's frustrating more than anything.
Yeah. How
they treat this character. Well, and that's why like later on, like in the series, in the movies specifically, like when he gets taken and he's out to kill Katniss, like I like that because we are seeing more of his change and transformation. They do fix, I think, the characterization of Peeta later on in the movies, but here they could have done more to service this character.
Now, granted, I don't think they had a lot to work with. I mean, Peeta is this in the book. You kind of...
Yeah, but that goes back to the point of we're not telling this, and I think this was great. Like this, Suzanne Collins was one of the writers here, right? Of the screenplay. She could have easily been like, well, let's keep this
moment.
Let's keep this entire movie from her point of view, and let's have Katniss be narrating, right? The movie. Because that's how the book is, right?
Yeah.
We get it all from her point of view.
Yeah.
They could have done that. But, like, I love that they decided to not do that.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to do that, then...
What are you going to do to help...
expand moments with characters in the actual games, in the arena, and flesh out more of these motivations that we don't get to see in the book because we're telling everything from her point of view.
Because here's the thing, they don't need to be. It doesn't have to be lengthy. None of the moments to help us get this thing along, pass it along, needs to be anything wild. Yeah. Like, a moment of Peeta facing the goons and making the alliance would have been fine.
Sure.
Right? And us questioning, is he actually good or is he just playing the game?
Yeah.
Right? And so all those things, and so it's good. Anyways, so definitely this weird love and hate relationship with this film for sure.
Yeah. But I do love just like the technical work here, even from like the score. James Stewart Howard, this is one of my favorite scores from him. This whole series, I think
It's a really good score.
great score. But like something that he like the decision to not have any score or any music played during the reaping.
Yeah.
It adds to the tension, to the suspense of it all. Like it's little things like this that as a production they agreed upon that really make these moments hit hard, right? And that's why it's so frustrating, because it's like the first hour and 4 minutes of this movie is just perfection.
It really is.
And
it really is really enjoyable.
And even when I watched it the second time in 1 week, when I got to the actual Hunger Games, I was after that opening moment, right? Those first seconds of the games, then I just was kind of bored. I was like,
kind of skip ahead.
Yeah, I'm like skipping ahead. But let's talk characters, because this is something that I struggle with. And again, not looking at it from the book. As a movie, my biggest criticism on any movie with characters is, are they characters that have agency or not?
Interesting. Okay. I don't think I know you've said this multiple, like, I know you've like talked about characters in agency, but since last week we talked a lot about that, bringing it up again here, I don't realize that when you look at your films that that's something very specifically.
And I think that's what makes a good character, right? Like, yes, there's going to be times where a character has to be reactionary. Is that right? But like, ideally, you want a character that has choice and is making decisions.
That is making decisions moving forward. Yeah.
Something that and this is my biggest criticism of this first movie, and it always has been. And again, it's been like 15 years since I've read the book, so like I don't remember them. I just don't like that Katniss doesn't proactively kill anyone. And again, hold on, and let me. I know that the idea, and I know that the idea is that we don't like as audiences that our protagonists are killing people.
100%.
I get that, but do something in the script to show to me that she is not a reactionary character, rather has choice.
That she's deliberately choosing to not kill.
No, I think it's okay for her to say, you know what, I'm choosing to go into hiding, and I'm going to hide. Again, let's go back to the moment in the Hunger Games. After that first killing of all those people, what does she do? She just runs away, and we see her get water. We see her start a fire.
Yep.
Why not create in the script moments of her looking for a place to hide, trying to not just having a fun camp out weekend, but like making her actively choosing to be hiding, and maybe throwing a line of like, you know what, I'm just gonna hide, wait for everyone to die, and I'd rather kill one person at the end than worry about killing 23 people.
Yeah, or even I mean, it's so hard.
I think it's okay for your character, for your protagonist to say, I am choosing to hide and not kill anyone and not kill 23 people and just wait till the last person, and I will worry about that at the end.
Yeah.
That is a character making a decision rather than I'm running away because I don't know what to do and just doing a fire, hiding on a tree for a bunch of
so many times.
Yeah.
Well, and what's so hard about this is that, you know, in the book, if you've read the book and you go to the film, I think you don't mind it. But I think it doesn't stand the time of a good film without like doing something to this effect for the script, because, you know, I get. I hear all the book people. Well, she doesn't do that in the book, and I get it. But you check yourself at the door. Put a moment with Haymitch and Katniss talking about a game plan or talking about what she needs, you know, prepping her in something, and her being blatant about that, right?
Yeah.
Or or having a moment with Rue, or get Rue and her together sooner so she can or even I don't know, just like the moment when they run out and it's her and the other girl and they like, are we gonna kill each other? Are we not gonna kill each other? I think is kind of what they were trying to go for, but they just look like skull girls because they are.
They are.
But it's not a choice. It's still reactionary.
Yeah. And it's and again, fun. I watched all of these movies, and I think eventually in the other movies, the script realizes this about Katniss, because there's, I think in Mockingjay Part 1, they're in District 13, and they're trying to get her to do the proposal, the ads. Or
the
what are they called?
Propaganda things.
Yeah, the propaganda things. And Hey Mitch gets everyone together and says, when has Katniss ever truly moved you? And then people in the room, because they're trying to get her to do them, and she's like being very like stiff and it looks bad, right? And then I think like Effie raises her hand and she says, "Oh, when she volunteered for her sister." Yes. And then someone else, "Oh, when I saw her cry because of Rue," right? And then he's like, "Okay, so what do all of those things have in common?" He says, "She wasn't forced to do something." Right? So I think like even the script later like points that out, that oh yeah, Katniss is actually better when she is choosing to do something, rather than being reactionary. And I know she kills Jack Quaid. Young Jack Quaid is in this, but it was reactionary to him killing Rue. And so I think that's just kind of like, that's always been my criticism here, is like we could have done something more to make this character not just be
a limp noodle, dude.
Yeah,
I feel like, and again, it's like, it's. Yeah.
Let's and look, Squid Games, for example.
Oh,
with our protagonist,
fantastic,
there, right? He doesn't want to kill,
and
he doesn't want to like die either, but he is actively doing something to survive.
Yes,
right. The way they write him, and again, it's different games that they're they're in. But the same, like, you have other characters that are actually
out to kill people. And yeah.
And again, you always want, when you're writing a character, you have to write them in positions and put them in situations where they make choices.
Yeah, there's so much in that next half. Like, even if there was more, and again, it's just,
And I get that she's the reluctant hero in here.
Yeah,
right?
Revisiting this film now after almost more than a decade now.
Mm-hmm.
I come back, and in that era, I just want more of her because I know she is more.
Yeah,
and it's one of those moments of like, you kind of have to just. You accept it and you just move forward.
Sure. And again, like
we're nitpicking here.
By the fourth film, like I love when she chooses to kill President Coin.
Yes.
Like again, that's her having choice and agency and saying, I'm gonna, which makes that scene great. It's just, I don't know. I just think they could have added a line of like, just hide. My strategy is gonna be, I'm going to find shelter, hide, and I'd rather kill one person at the end than create alliances to kill a bunch of people.
Right. Yeah,
and I think that doesn't take away from the essence of the character,
or even,
in the books, from the 100%, books, right?
Or even like change too much in the book, right?
Yeah.
So Jennifer Lawrence's performance for Katniss, like, do you remember your first like feelings toward her? What do you look at her now in this first one specifically? Yeah,
I think she's phenomenal here. Even the moment, like the movie begins with what's his face, Flickerman, talking about the legacy of the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
What it means to this nation of Panem. What the beauty in it, right? And then it cuts to her like waking up, or it cuts to Prim screaming and her going and comforting her, right? Yeah. And she is so good at just like bringing kindness, sincerity, authenticity to her characters in all moments as a protector. Even when they draw out Prim's name and you just see Katniss, Jennifer Lawrence in that scene, just like
straight panic.
Yeah, panic.
I remember like so impressed with that scene from her. I also think that like there's a level, the internalization that she channels for this character, I think is really like, there are moments where I wish, she would express a little bit more like fury, but also like I really do think she's channeling Katniss. She like really comes to internalize this character. I think that opening scene, or especially the opening scene, just brings so much, because like her willingness to go and like she's hunting, and you get Liam Hemsworth with Gale coming out and they're having this conversation, yields so much for the rest of the film that carries it.
Sure.
I think the moment when Lenny Kravitz or Cinna, that moment to me, like you said, like leading that just is so good.
Lenny Kravitz is a wonderful gem in this movie.
A wonderful gem.
He is incredible in this movie. For a guy that most of his role is to just, if you're looking at the camera, is to do this.
Yes.
Katniss, like, go ahead, twirl, do it. Like, that's what he spends a big chunk of these movies doing.
Yeah.
He's great at it.
I actually want Lenny. I want him in more. He's just he just has so much charisma, so much care. But the sincerity between him and Katniss, and that they capture it so well together, that it's so strong. And I absolutely I really want to know, like, did they put these two characters, these two individuals in the casting process together, to see, or did they just like, no, I think that they can make this work together, right?
Yeah.
And they were able to bond on set and whatever, because it is magical. Because I think they both have, they have this level of like so much subtext, body subtext.
Yeah.
Throughout so much the opening sequence.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it is Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence can have chemistry with anyone.
Oh, have you watched the comedy she's in? The rom-com where she plays like she's like needs money, so she plays to help get a boyfriend.
Yeah. What's it called?
I can't remember.
I haven't seen it.
It's funny. It's a good time.
Yeah, no, it's been on my watch list because I think it's on Netflix. It's
one of the streamers.
Yeah.
You should definitely watch it. It's great. She's phenomenal in it.
Yeah, no, she's look, Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone are the greatest actresses of our generation.
Yeah.
Like, hands down. I'll fight anyone who says contrary to that. But no, like she just has chemistry with anyone. She's so good at just like when he approaches her and like he compliments her, and she just gets kind of like a gentle smile. Like, yeah. It's like, oh, this is the first time you've smiled in the whole movie. We're 40 minutes in. Like, this is great. She's awesome. I love Jennifer Lawrence. She's incredible.
Incredible.
I do want to talk a little bit about some of these themes that we have here.
Yeah.
And look, we're not going to say anything revolutionary. These movies and books have been out for a while, but like I do want to talk about like this theme of hope, because again, I love that the movie gives us that cuts to
the outside world,
and we have President Snow and Seneca Crane, the game maker.
Yeah.
And he's talking to him about the purpose of the games, right? And he talks about hope and like how hope can catch fire if it's not controlled. And the recent, like, have you been out to the districts out there?
Yeah.
They're horrible and blah blah blah. And I just love this idea of this fascist government here, institution, that their whole purpose of having these games at this point is to give a little bit of hope. A little bit of hope is good, but too much is bad. And I guess, like, why does the theme of hope work so great in these dystopian films? Because we're gonna see this theme a lot in this genre. But what is it about hope that is such a universal theme that resonates?
Dude, it's my favorite theme. Any film that inspires hope, inspires the for an individual, a group of people to look up and to want to take another step forward, I will always get behind it. I think what it is that it means that you're not done. You know, there's this level of I think that, you know, like Snow's commentary here, you know, like when not controlled can really catch fire. And the truth is it is, you know, in an individual, even as an individual, as you can never not, you know, you look at Star Wars, right? That they're always battling for a small sliver of hope.
Yeah.
You know, as an individual, in that you're that small thing, that small moment of saying of hope builds, you know, strength, or even a moment of being able to have, like, I'm gonna be able to fight, or it's just that little spark that truly can carry, you know.
It's and let's go back to that scene, because here I've got it pulled up. I've got he asked Seneca, why do you think we have a winner? What do you mean? I mean, why do we have a winner? If we just wanted to intimidate the districts, why not round up 24 of them at random and execute them all at once?
Yeah.
Be a lot faster. And then President Snow says, hope. Hope? Hope. It is the only thing stronger than fear.
Yeah.
And I love that, right?
Yeah.
He is ruling this nation through fear.
Yes.
And he understands that by giving people a little bit of hope, that can topple and destroy his government. So then he goes on to say, a little hope is effective. A lot of hope is dangerous. A spark is fine as long as it is contained. So contain it.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's what's great, because something that even in this movie and in this entire series, as I just watched them, is the power of symbols here.
Yeah, absolutely. The Mockingjay.
The three-finger salute. Like I love
the whistle, sorry.
Yeah, I love the leverage of symbols in this franchise. And it's not something like going back to Star Wars, like we don't really have the the metaphors of symbols in Star Wars. And that's fine. It's okay. But like here, this franchise really leans into it. And it's all introduced here in this movie. Why symbols? And the power of symbols in inspiring hope and tearing down injustices.
Why do you think a symbol is so powerful in building hope?
Well, to quote Batman, man, like a man can be destroyed. A symbol cannot, and it's everlasting.
Yes.
Right? It's eternal.
Man, cool. Bringing another movie to quote. I love movies.
No, I think that's what it is, right?
It is.
Symbols represent so much more than what we as humans can be. And when we leverage them right, can inspire hope, can inspire revolutions in this case, and can bring about change.
You know, I don't know, you know, timing and everything. Wherever line of the spectrum you are politically. Like, I look out in the world right now, and I'm reminded how important it is to get out of your box, and how, like, there's, I've been seeing a lot and learning a lot about the symbols from past eras popping up from people across the country, seeing what's happening here in the United States and sharing them online, and people wanting to connect with that. Mm-hmm. We had the what was it? What was the award? Was it the Grammys, or what was the movie?
Grammys last weekend?
Yeah, the Grammys, but before that, what are the Golden Globes? A lot of people the Be Good pin, right? Mm-hmm. Like these acts, these trying to create something of a symbol to help connect and to make you feel like you're not alone. Because it is so easy in a world of, that we watch these films that and they are themselves in a moment of so alone. And then, that idea of, I just am going to do something. And that then resonates so deeply with people across the country that they're like, I too want you to know that I am with you. And that to me is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful thing to know that you, if you're new to the podcast, you may, I played trombone in grew up in junior high and high school, and then in college. And one of my favorite things is the fact that, like, I could have I knew if I had my trombone case, like, or, I saw someone, it's an immediate symbol to say, we are low brass people, and they're a certain type of people. Freaking, if you're a sax player, you're a certain kind of people. Especially those trumpet players and flute players. You know what I'm saying? That's a small thing, right? You put that into a large context of feeling helpless, feeling pain and no control, and then having a moment to take control and expressing something, or, showcasing something that helps connect you to one individual that then other people feel like they connect. It is so powerful. Yeah. And I appreciate that we can see something in film, but I also appreciate that in real life, you can see across the red hat, the red knit caps. I don't know if you've seen that, like in Sweden when the Nazis invaded there.
Yes.
They did this thing, like all kinds of things, right?
Yeah, I love that this franchise gets that right.
They get it right. It's so powerful.
And even just even at the end when Seneca Crane gets brought into the mansion, and it's just a bowl of berries. The berries. The symbol, the meaning of that to him at that moment of like, oh, I effed up. I'm screwed here.
Well, and I love that because, like, symbols both are two-sided coin. They're a double-edged sword, right? And it's both for good and for bad.
Yeah.
And it's so strong. And I think that's why, what's the line? Like, you either live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Either you die the hero or you live long enough to become the villain.
Right?
Batman again.
Like, but it's because Batman is a symbol. The whole concept of it is being a symbol, right? And what does that mean? Like, what choices are you making? And I think that Katniss in this realm, I appreciate the later films so much more. And even the books, like, I absolutely loved the books.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, I feel bad that I haven't read any of the new ones, because I know that you just get back to go and experience this very, very interesting world.
I did, side note, I watched the Ballad of
Songs and
Snakes, or whatever that name of that one is. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I'm so excited.
I actually think that one might be my favorite of the whole franchise.
Well, I think that there's a level of, like, Susan probably has matured. Like, not just like she knows these characters better.
Yeah, and look, I won't get into, like, the books, but, like, I always felt like the concept is great, and I wasn't sure if Suzanne Collins was the right the right writer for this, right?
I could see that though.
I think
she had a world that was really, really intriguing.
Yeah.
But we are so isolated, and we don't. I struggled towards the end. I like the movies better than I like the end of Catching Fire, right? Because I really struggled with how Katniss was written and everything that was happening. Whereas in the film, I feel like I don't know. I understand it better. Yeah. Anyways,
look, I love these movies. Favorite scene for you?
The Senna and Katniss leaving up to go to the cornucopia. I absolutely.
It's perfection.
It so
really is.
There's not like, I mean, what do you do in a moment like that, right?
Yeah,
that's what you do.
Yeah, and again, like none of the other movies have, and the next one does, right? It has a moment where all the tributes, right, go up, and it's not as good as it was done here. Like it was done so well, and even the newer one also had another moment where all the tributes are there and the countdown happens, and it wasn't as good as this first one. Like,
yeah, they nailed it with this first one.
They nailed it.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, phenomenal, man. You know, I
would pay all sorts of money for a movie of just Caesar Flickerman and the other guy, his other co-host.
Yeah.
Toby Jones and Stanley Tucci.
Yes.
Actually, it doesn't even have to be the characters. Toby Jones and Stanley Tucci doing anything.
Put them in a room together.
I will watch it.
100%.
Gosh, I love Caesar Flickerman in this. I hate him, but I love him in these movies.
I know.
And Stanley Tucci here, inspired casting. Yeah. I've never seen someone have so much fun.
He absolutely adores this character.
Yeah, you can tell he's just having a blast.
Hamming it up.
The teeth that they put in him. Just wow.
Oh man. You can't it's such a it's so good. So Katniss, tell me. Right? Like his performance,
his forced sincerity. And investment in all of these, like if you, it's just, and I mean, we see this in reality TV. We won't get into reality TV, but
yeah, the scripting,
yeah.
Oh, it's so good, phenomenal. Yeah, I really enjoy that. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Hunger Games. Hit us up with your thoughts by heading over to YouTube and subscribing. We do have so much more to offer there, and we'd love to have you guys chiming in on the conversation. Let us know, hey, do we need to not quit our day jobs?
Oh yeah, that one guy, huh?
I love that. And let us know your thoughts of revisiting these films and honestly these franchises. Like, is there a moment that you love? Because we want to hear from you.
You can always connect with us on all of our socials at Real Chums, REELCHUMS.com. And you can find me on Threads at Marstrosity. That's MARZTROSITY.
And I'm at Rubio.tv, RUB as in Bravo, IO.tv.
Join us next week. We're continuing dystopian films with the best movie ever made. Danny has not seen it. Children of Men.
It's true.
Oh, Danny,
I'm so pumped for it.
Do not watch the trailer. You know nothing about this movie.
I only know that like there's a lot of rubble.
Okay, good.
That's all fine. I know.
That's fine.
And a child.
Okay, you know that there's a child?
I don't know. I saw a picture of something. Maybe I'll look at a different film. I'm excited to go into this cold turkey.
No, please. Look, this is the best dystopian film ever.
Yeah.
This is top 10 movies of the century.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm pumped to talk about it.
Oh my gosh,
it's gonna be so I'm assuming I'm just locking in for a long talk.
I don't like. No, like this movie. Okay, I'm excited. Go check it out and come back. Tune in next week. Children of Men.
We'll see you guys later.